crude oil and gas. Poland, Warsaw. In all cities throughout the world, old town districts are the most charming. The atmosphere of old streets and alleys is highlighted by gas lamps, which are still in use in some places. That's where our story starts. From Warsaw, we go down to Kraków. Here in the south of Poland, between Kraków and Przemyśl, stretch oil and gas fields, where bitumens are situated at the depth of several hundred to several thousand meters. In the mid-19th century, the success story of crude oil started on Polish territories. It was all due to Ignacy Łukasiewicz. He was the first scientist to distill crude oil and obtain kerosene used for lighting. With the passage of time, oil lamps became true works of art. Those were the beginnings. The first exploratory work and the Franek well. It was drilled without the use of machines. It has remained unchanged since 1854. Crude is also the same, always restless and tempting. This oil well was a model for a number of others that mushroomed in the foot of the Carpathians. It was a training ground for drilling specialists, blacksmiths and supervisors whose experience was greatly in demand at home as well as in Russia, Romania, Venezuela, Brazil, the Middle East, Borneo and Java. During its 135-year-long history, the Polish oil industry often led the world due to the high level of technology of exploratory drilling output and processing. To preserve the rich tradition, a skansen was set up at the Bubrka oil well. In the middle of the 19th century, town gas became an important competitor of crude. When in the early 19th century technological advances made coal degassing possible, the production of town gas developed. The first gasworks on Polish territories was built in 1847 in Wrocław. A number of others were soon put up. After World War I, Poland had 136 gasworks, 70% of them on Western territories. Iron town gas holders like these were built at the beginning of the century within 9 months. At the end of the day, city lighting was taken over by electricity. Its introduction marked the end of an epoch. The nostalgic charm of gas lamps and instruments was gone forever. They can now only be seen at the Gas Museum in Warsaw's disused gasworks. Luckily, a few gas lamps have survived, bringing back fond memories of days gone by. crude oil, natural gas, gasoline. Nature holds them in porous sandstone, organic cavernous limestone and cracked dolomite. Highly porous rock and permeability are what engineers and geophysicians look for. Various methods are used, but seismic tests are the most widespread. Fluid is different than in waste rock. These people prospect for crude oil and natural gas. Scientists from the Institute of Crude Oil and Natural Gas in Kraków, together with their colleagues from the Krosno branch, do their best to carry out exact analyses and examinations and increase knowledge about oil-bearing rock and engineering. When the core of rock from a collector trap is extracted, emotions run high. However, before oil is struck, a long and painstaking effort must be made. First, it is necessary to start drilling, the most reliable prospecting method. The deepest wells of Paszowa and Kuźmina, drilled by prospecting companies, reached the depth of 7,200 meters. Normally, boreholes are not that deep. Crude and gas are obtained from shallower deposits, and the search for new fields is on. Since 1910, when the tricone bit, which is still in use, was patented, and since 1925, when the cogged core bit was developed, drilling teeth, diamond drills and diamond bits have drilled holes in search of bitumens. Every year in Poland, several 100,000 meters of new boreholes enable scientists to expand their geological knowledge. To maintain the high percentage of Polish natural gas in energy generation, dozens of drilling rigs work constantly looking for new crude and gas deposits. When the core smells of crude and when drilling fluid flowing from the well augurs success, only a handful of dampers and pipes are left on the surface. The top of a gas borehole. Natural gas is the 20th century most precious fuel. From here, gas is transported by underground pipelines to a collection facility. There, the pressure of gas is reduced, mechanical impurities are removed, and gas itself is dried to prepare for further transmission by feeder mains. Gas fields at Tuligłowy near Przemyśl and at Góra Śląska, developed by the Naftomontaż mine building company of Krosno, are very modern. However, some of the old oil fields are still in operation with the use of traditional methods. Admittedly, progress does find its way into these too, but to seasoned employees of the oil industry, the old fields hold the greatest attraction. When during the autumn-winter peak, consumption of natural gas exceeds production and import capabilities, the situation is alleviated by underground storage facilities, which are filled in the summer during relatively low fuel consumption and provide gas during the winter. This facility at Rzeszów will have a capacity of 300 million cubic meters upon completion. From there, gas will travel to all parts of Poland. One of the destinations is Silesia, where apart from natural gas, industry also uses gas obtained during coke production. Coke oven gas must be prepared before it is supplied to individual users. Although both gases differ in calorific terms, they can be mixed and exchanged. This is done in the Szopienice facility. gas network knows no obstacles resulting from difficult terrain. This curve may not look attractive to a layman, but to build such a pipeline across a river, considerable know-how and skills are required. Those conditions are met by workers of the Gazobudowa company in Zabrze, which builds gas facilities, and of the Gazomontaż company in Wołomin. Gas, which travels through hundreds of kilometers of pipelines, loses energy which must artificially be restored to enable it to reach all users throughout Poland. Pump stations at Maćkowice, Jarosław, Podgórska Wola, Kotów and in the Warsaw suburb of Rembelszczyzna increase pressure and facilitate transmission. Every year, more than 13,000 million cubic meters of gas is transported in Poland through a network of 12,000 high-pressure and about 33,000 kilometers of medium and low-pressure pipelines. Apart from its basic ingredient, methane, natural gas also contains a number of valuable elements. Gas obtained in Polish plains contains helium, often described as tomorrow's fuel. Gas from the Ostrów-Wielkopolski field is transmitted to the denitriding plant at Odolanów, where it is subjected to liquefaction in a cryogenic process. First, nitrogen is liquefied, and when the temperature approaches absolute zero, that is minus 269 degrees centigrade, helium, a valuable fuel and important source of income, is liquefied. The treated natural gas with a high methane content is then supplied to the Polsce chemical plant. Nearly 75% of Poland's population in 468 towns and cities and 823 villages uses gas to satisfy daily needs, while 70% of Poland's economic potential is dependent on steady supplies of natural gas. Three kinds of gas are used in Poland. Natural gas with a high methane content, marked in red, obtained from fields at the foot of the Carpathians, and from imports through pipelines starting in Brest, and from the Przemyśl region. It is then distributed through a network all over the country. Gas with a nitrogen content, obtained from fields at the foot of the Sudety mountain range, marked in green, is distributed throughout western Poland, from Pomerania down to Upper Silesia. The transmission system of coke oven gas is shown in blue. Such gas is produced in coking plants in Upper and Lower Silesia and distributed in those regions. Besides, a gas processing plant is situated at Odolanów. After denitriding, natural gas with a high methane content is distributed through a pipeline network.
Wprowadzany do sieci przesyłowej tego gazu w tym miejscu.
telephone, a telex and a monitor. This is where the center of the gas system is situated. These people monitor parameters in gas supply systems round the clock. This is where information is received from the remotest fields, pump stations and regulators. This is where all decisions are taken. The Crude Oil Facilities Company in Krosno conducts maintenance and manufactures equipment primarily for the oil industry, but it also works for the coal and other industries. The Gas Facilities Company in Rawicz specializes in reliable regulators and measuring stations, which are in great demand. Every machine, every part used in this field is subjected to attestation. For the safety of those who work in the extraction and production of gas, and of those who use it, is at stake. Constant tests are carried out. The Krakow Institute also conducts testing. Special maintenance services constantly monitor the operation of thousands of kilometers of city low, medium and high-pressure gas pipelines, regulators and other apparatus. Maintenance men regularly check installations, their reliability and leak tightness. Whenever a defect is found, they carry out repairs. Natural gas is an excellent fuel, which makes it possible to maintain precise technological requirements in industry. It's also convenient for household use. The Polish oil and gas industry employs more than 47,000 people in 23 plants. The workers are covered by company holiday schemes and enjoy other benefits. Rest homes are situated in Poland's most scenic areas. The mountain holiday resort of Zakopane at the foot of the High Tatras. This is where we end the story about Polish crude and natural gas. Let us recall that it all started in 1853 thanks to Ignacy Łukasiewicz. Now the Polish oil and gas industry operates several dozen drilling rigs, 12,000 kilometers of high-pressure gas pipelines, 33,000 kilometers of medium and low-pressure pipelines, 13,000 million cubic meters of gas are transmitted every year through modern installations.